Hi, I hope this video finds you well. This is a Stamp Around UK video hop. My name's Esther at Stampin Star Creations, and today I'm going to show you how you can make this gorgeous home decor using the tailored tag punch and some designer series paper. So I've chosen some designs out of the Flowers for Every Season, which is the 6x6 paper, and some matching 2020 to 2022 in colour designer series paper, and we're going to see what we can do with these. So this is the first time making it, so I'm kind of guessing as I go along when I'm cutting these shapes out, and I can now let you know how many pieces you need for each thing. So I'm experimenting to see how many shapes I can actually get out of a 6x6, and I've grouped 3 pieces of paper together and it easily cuts through the 3. So I can actually get 10 shapes out of this piece of paper, just turning my punch in different directions to see what fits, and I managed to get 10 shapes out. I don't know if I could do it again if I tried, but I didn't manage that time. Then I needed to crease all my pieces, and I thought the easiest way to do this is using the scoreboard, and actually you can batch score it by laying down 3 or more. I probably wouldn't do more than 3 into your trimmer, and using the scoring blade to score down the long side of those shapes so they're ready to help you fold later. You don't need to score it, but it definitely helps you to have a middle point for when you come to do your folding. So really simple, easy fold. You're just folding 1/2 and creasing those shapes. So I'm going to show you that again, hopefully a bit more close up. So folding those 2 sides inwards to meet the middle, and repeat on the other side, so you've got this fluted petal shape. And then do this in front of the telly or something, you know, if you haven't got lots of time. It is the kind of thing that's easy to do. I definitely did mine sat in front of the telly, plus these extra ones to then use as inserts later. Now I wanted to see if this was a bit neater, just a different way of cutting out. People might prefer to cut their paper like this. So by folding it in 3 and punching, I only got 9 pieces out. So it just goes to show that actually different methods, you get a different amount of paper shapes out of your paper. So I tried the 1.5 inch circle punch as my base. I put a bit of Tombow glue around the edge and I start sticking. So for the inside petals you need 14 in total. I soon realised I was hanging off the edge, it was no good, so I took them off and tried a bigger base. So bringing in a bigger circle punch, and this time using the 2-inch circle punch as my base, and this was a perfect fit for just fitting all those shapes on. So you find that when you come to the end there might be a bit of a gap, or it might be a little bit squashed, but if you just jiggle it around and push everything in a bit or out a bit, depending, they should fit nicely together, and just giving that a good press on the back. Then next I use 7 inserts, so I'm doing every other petal so as to not cover all of the design from the base papers that we used, and just poking them through a little bit and just eyeballing it as to where to put those. Then I wanted a last layer, so I've put these bumblebee colour down behind them. Now this was a little bit more tricky, there was no kind of real guideline as to where to put these, so just don't look too closely because they're not an exact science. And they do slightly overlap. So I used 14 of the bumblebee shapes. And then cutting out a circle die to complete the middle and fit it in, and then I thought actually this bigger scallop circle would be better, which means that I can then fit in a sentiment. Then taking the High Tide stamp set with the Misty Moonlight ink and inking, just using my die as a reference. So the circle die is 2 1/8 and the scallop one is 2 1/4 inches. So just adhering those together and then putting it straight onto the circle that I was going to use. So then in order to hang it up, I'm just eyeballing and piercing a hole through a couple of those outer petals and threading through some of this nylon thread that I had in my drawer. It's called either invisible thread or nylon thread, just for something thin enough to thread through and hang up my decor. So here it is in all its glory, hanging up, and it just really stands out, I think, on a wall or wherever you want to hang it. I've ended up hanging it on my door actually, but this hopefully shows you the kind of 3D effect you can get, and yeah, it's really fun to make. So I hope you've enjoyed watching along and this has inspired you to give it a go. Do hop along and watch what everyone else has done under the topic for this month, which is geometric. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much.